Good morning, my name is Bohi and I am a 10th grader at Da Vinci Design. Today I'll be presenting for my integrated math 2 and chemistry PoL. I'll start off with my notes. This is my homework completion chart, and as you can see, I did all my homework this semester. I completed each assignment with good quality work. Also, I understood every problem and I understood the concept. And this is my assessment score chart, and on most of my exams I got A's and I passed them, but on the ones that I didn't, I made corrections, and on the corrections I was quick to analyze the mistakes, but if I didn't, I would ask my classmates, and if not, I would ask Ms. Casillas for guidance, who would point it out and help me fix it. I maintained my A by constantly doing my homework. When I did my homework, I made sure to check my answers to make sure I was on the right track. Also, I reviewed my notes when I didn't understand what I was doing, and I asked a lot of questions. Lastly, I analyzed my mistakes on my quizzes so I wouldn't make the same mistakes on my tests. However, on Essential Skill Learning Target 2.1 and 2.2, I kind of rushed and I failed to look at those mistakes in the test. And basically what this essential skill is basics of triangle properties with algebra. And it's just identifying and classifying triangles by angle and side measures and applying the exterior angle theorem and the triangle angle sum. Furthermore, it's not that I didn't understand the content, because I did. I just rushed through the test and I felt really confident about it that I didn't bother going back, and I made simple mistakes. An example would be I did supplementary for angle 3 when I should have done vertical. This threw me off for the other angles because in a way the angles are connected. So if I had gotten angle 3 wrong, I would have gotten the triangle wrong, and if I wanted to do supplementary to find angle 4, I would also get that wrong because I started off on the wrong track. For my first comparison, I got both of the answers wrong on the quiz and the test. I got the answer wrong on the quiz because I didn't see any measures, so I automatically assumed it was a scalene triangle. But I should have done the corner test to know that it was an obtuse, because one angle is larger than 90 and the rest are smaller than 90. And also for my test, I didn't, like I said, I rushed and I didn't pay attention to the directions, and I solved for the angles instead of the sides. And since I saw a right angle, I said it was a right triangle. But if I would have looked at the sides, I would have noticed that it was a scalene triangle because none of the sides were congruent. But on my test corrections, I made sure to fix that. For my second comparison, I got the right answer on the quiz because I took my time and I made sure to recheck my work. But on the test, since I rushed, I made a lot of simple mistakes. For example, for one of the angles, for angle 6, I divided that by 2 since these two angles are congruent. Instead, I should have done triangle angle sum by subtracting angle 6 with 180 and then dividing it by 2. For my reflection, I think I deserve the grade I have, which is an A or higher, because I know that because I participated in all the content and I know what I'm doing. Also, I made sure to challenge myself this year by doing honors. I'm not in honors class, but I do try to challenge and go the extra mile. Lastly, I made sure to whenever I'm failing in a certain area, I always try to improve that, and I showed this by retaking my quiz for Essential Skill Part 2, and I jumped from a C to an A. That concludes my math PoL. I will now move on to chemistry, which is atomic structure and nuclear chemistry. I'll begin with atomic structure. The electromagnetic force has an infinite range. It is strong because it can work over that infinite range. To give you an idea of how strong it is, it's 10 to the power of 36 times stronger than the gravitational pull on Earth. And once you think about it, that's a lot. It's also responsible for the attraction and repulsion between electrons and protons. For example, to be more concise, opposites attract and likes repel. So an electron would repel another electron because they're likes, but it would attract a proton because they're opposites. And this is important because it gives things strength, shape, and hardness. Now, I'll move on to atomic models. Throughout the years, many scientists have concluded what the atom might look like. But the four most well-known are the plum pudding model, solid sphere model, proton-neutron model, and nuclear model. They are all unique and different in their own ways, but the one we use today is the proton and neutron model. Thanks to the three scientists, J.J. Thomson, Ernest Rutherford, and Dave Chadwick, we know what the atom is made out of, which is protons, electrons, neutrons, and the nucleus. For my evidence, I used a page from the quiz, from the test, and I understood most of the content on atomic structure, except for this one, which basically asks that in a fusion reaction, why is it so hard to combine two nucleuses together? And I put because of the oppositely charged and they repel each other, but in the right answer would have been because they're both positively charged and likes repel. Now we'll move on to nuclear chemistry. Radiation is basically U rays that are emitted out. Anything that has radiation is radioactive. Radiation occurs when the nucleus is too heavy, and there are three types of radiation: alpha, beta, and gamma. Alpha is positively charged, and it is stopped by a thin piece of paper. Isotopic notation for alpha is 4,2A. Beta is negatively charged, and it is stopped by aluminum foil or cardboard. Its isotopic notation is 0, -1B. And gamma is neutrally charged, and it is stopped by concrete or lead foil, or lead, and its isotopic notation is 0, in an atom, there are two forces at work: the electromagnetic force and the strong nuclear force. As I mentioned earlier, the electromagnetic force is the repulsion and attraction between electrons and protons, and the strong nuclear force is a force within the nucleus that holds it together. For my evidence, I used my exam, and for number 9, I got it wrong because I put that the very large nuclei tend to be unstable because of and I put attractions of electrons for the positively charged nucleus, when it should have been the repulsive forces between protons. Thank you for your attention. I am now ready to show you my mastery by solving a problem of your choice.